Hey everybody, shalom. Shalom to everyone out there. Welcome back to Growth with Mo. I am Mo. If you've never been here before, welcome. My name is Mo, and I am a single mother, a daughter of the Most High, and just a woman on a 365-day growth journey that I'm documenting here on YouTube. And today is day 29. Tomorrow will be my first 30 days if I'm blessed to see it. I have a bully puppy. She is in the kennel because every time I come in here to try to record, she gets into stuff. Just never fails, and she chewing on stuff. And then when she go outside, it's toys in her, in a boo-boo because she been eating toys. And so she's gonna do that. Don't worry about that. So this week we have been unpacking what growth really is, what growth means to you, what it means to me. When I say growth, I mean the internal work, the hard work that you do to see the result. Breaking the bad habits, switching the mindset, the real work, the work to take care of your roots. When you plant a seed, it begins to sprout roots. And it's like, what are you rooted in? Because that's what's making up what you're growing into, And it's like you could be rooted in corrupt soil and still grow big. But your soil is tainted, so your roots are tainted. So in the end, no matter what you're able to do or accumulate or achieve, so my focus is being planted in good soil, making sure that I'm rooted in good things of the Most High, and things of that nature. And I am just someone who's here trying to share my growth journey and efforts to help support someone else on their growth journey, because that real growth is not easy and it's not talked about a lot. So that's why we're here unpacking growth this week. And today we're talking about some of the similarities that I've noticed between back then and here now. Like, growth didn't take everything away, and that surprised me. It surprised me to see that while I had grown in many areas or grown in a few areas, there were still so many areas where I still needed growth. Standing here before you today, I have grown in so many areas, but I also have so many areas that I need to grow in. And then there are some areas where I've grown, but not completely to the way that I want to be. So it kind of shocked me. Honestly, I always thought that, once you commit to working on something, you say, hey, I'm going to do it, I'm going to get it done, that's it. But no, sometimes it's a deeper journey than that, especially when you're doing it with the Most High. So I'm just going to talk a little bit briefly today about some of the similarities that I noticed between me today and me 10 years ago. So today I'm 32. 10 years ago I was 22. Some things that I noticed were similar is that the core of me, the core of caring about people, wanting to uplift people, wanting to empower people, that was there. But I was doing a lot of pretending back in back when I was 22. Back in 2016, I was doing a lot of pretending. So even though that core of that loving, uplifting nature, it was tainted because of the soil that I had it planted in. Also, some similarities with some things that I struggled with was like the smoking, fornication, and having sex. I was struggling with that, and that's something that up until recent, I was still struggling with pretty heavy. I'm not saying that I don't struggle with smoking and stuff at all, and I'm not saying that I don't never have problems with lust, but the Father is keeping me in the lust department. And the smoking is gone from smoking every day, all through the day, to have like spurts where I get in a little weird fucking mood, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. I'm irritated. But the more I pick up the habit after it's already kind of been progressed in that area, the more I'm like, I don't even want this. It don't even taste good no more. But I still be smoking it out of habit, so it lets me know that there's something there. And where the real similarity is in the mindset and in the way that I'm reacting to certain situations. Like I said, I notice it's like when I'm having a more challenging day, I'm a little irritated, I'm a little agitated. That's when I really want to smoke. but just that desire to where I want to smoke cigarettes all day, every day. And, that desire is changing. So even though the similarity of the behavior is still there, it has changed and it has progressed. But all change doesn't happen like that. It isn't overnight and it isn't always instant. You can be growing in an area and still struggling in that same area at the same time. So the scripture I dropped today is Lamentations 3:40, and it's just talking about let us re-examine ourselves. Let us examine ourselves and turn back to the Most High. Because after examining myself, I see, hey, actually, I still need some more work. It's like you're never finished, you're never complete. That's why growth is a lifelong journey. And it's something that you have to commit to lifelong because you're never really finished or complete. It's always somewhere where you can grow more, where you can learn something different, where you can learn something better, you can learn something new. Something can be revealed to you in a different way. Like, it's just like reading the word. Every time you get in the word, it speaks to you different. So, even though there are similarities, I'm very grateful for the differences, which we'll talk about some of the differences tomorrow. But yeah, with the similarities, I'm noticing a lot of it is tied to the mindset. Like, a lot of it is tied to how I respond to uncomfortable things, what I choose to do in responding to uncomfortable things. And a lot of it, I'm praying that the Father will use my habit exchange challenge that I'm on as well to help me with some of those bad habits that are still lingering, some of those areas where I still struggle, and help me to exchange that behavior for more positive behavior that's more pleasing unto Him, and that it'll help replace it. So instead of when you get angry doing this, do this instead. And then, I really want to take the time to see how it affects me. Because sometimes when you're just looking for an instant relief, you don't think about how it affects you. So I think in order for me to, the word says in all your knowing, get understanding. Like, in all your getting of information and knowledge and everything like that, make sure you get understanding as well. Because it's one thing to have the head knowledge, but it's a different thing to have the understanding. And usually when you understand, it's kind of just easier, I don't know, to me, in my opinion, to follow through. So, yeah, just getting down to the root of things, getting down to the root of, hey, what is this rooted in? What's going on with the soil, Where was my mind at when I picked up this habit? What was I doing? What was I trying to escape? What was I trying to feel? Was I trying to impress people? Like, was it a peer pressure thing? Like, what made me pick this up in the first place? And getting on that journey with the Most High is what heals. It reveals and then it heals. And the revelation can hurt, but then it heals. And you just got to keep working at it, Each day is a little journey that we have to get through. It's another little part of our journey. And it's not, every day is not, woo, Some days it's like, whew, So, and both are okay. So, I pray that everyone is doing well. I plan to go live very soon. It's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so I plan to either go live today or by the latest tomorrow, I'll be going live. Just to have a wrap up from the fun that we were having earlier this week, just to sit and connect with y'all a little bit more. I'm definitely working on doing lives more because I really like sitting and talking with y'all and connecting with y'all. It's pretty dope. I like it. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Your sister from another mister is encouraging you to continue to keep going, keep growing, keep fighting for the better version of yourself. And nobody knows you better than you except the Most High. So let Him in if you haven't already. I love y'all. I love y'all for real. Much shalom. Many blessings, protection, provision. I pray that the snow is starting to melt or the ice is starting to melt if you are like me and have been trapped in the house since the weekend. Okay? Let it melt because I went out there and I fell. So this is why you don't go outside in the snow. Now how I'm going to get up? Let it melt. be patient. We gotta be patient and let it melt. Thank y'all for being here. Much love to y'all. Much shalom. And Father willing, I will see y'all soon for a live, as well as for day 30 tomorrow. Woo, 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 woo. No. It is a good feeling, though. It's a good feeling. Much love to y'all. Shalom.